Are you ready for the Low Blows Network? Every Wednesday on the Low Blows Network, the Low Blows team are at hand to break down, analyse and make fun of all things pro wrestling. Hosted by former pro wrestler Rick Nash. I think the only reasonable thing we can do now is turn John Cena heel.
Selfie with me fucking Doug.
Banned from Nigeria. I will be talking to the government tomorrow morning. YouTube star Corporate King.
This elephant has 4 legs. Joe Russell's 4 legs. Joseph Stalin, if he had 2 more legs.
Bonesaw rips off his shirt, yeah, and it says, "Chuck your law, big dirty tricorder."
And the Queen of Irish Wrestling, Katie Harvey.
I want one society, just CM Punk.
So embarrassed. CM Punk.
It's Low Blows.
Fans of Michael Jackson are upset after allegations in the new Leaving the Netherlands. Leaving the Netherlands. It's a lesser known documentary. Leaving Neverland is the documentary on HBO where 2 of the children, I should be joking around this subject or making mistakes, but anyway, look, we're here now, who formerly shared his bed, accused him in graphic detail of sexual abuse. A lot of people are not happy with this. It's really interesting as well, because I don't know, everyone is entitled to and has their own opinions on this. Personally, now looking back on it, I'm like, come on, when we know what we know about celebrities and stuff like that. But Michael Jackson fans, very passionate, and they will eat your head off. They are like One Direction fans. If you say that Niall isn't pretty, they will murder your ass. So it's very interesting. I'm seeing a lot of debates online about it, but they're not happy. But guys, to get us kicked off here, on another edition of Low Blows, Rick Nash joined by the returning Katie Harvey and Corporate Keen as always. Guys, what rumours about a professional wrestler or a wrestling personality do you hope aren't true?
So I like to buy completely 100% into storylines.
Nice.
And it makes it better for me when there's on-screen couples that are off-screen couples as well.
Mm-hmm.
So it kills me when I hear things about Macho Man mistreating Elizabeth and stuff in real life, and you just hear dodgy things and no, but you had the wedding and you carried her on her shoulders and then you hear shitty stuff about their personal life. It's like John Cena and Nikki Bella, or when you hear someone cheats and you just get real sad.
Did someone cheat in John Cena and Nikki Bella?
No, but wasn't the rumours John Cena was seeing a few people? Might have been just before Nikki Bella.
I'd say he is. I'd say he's doing.
But he would have been married. So he wasn't cheating on Nikki Bella, but he was married.
Yeah.
And then apparently seeing Mickey James, I want to say.
Yes, I did hear that.
Yeah. So you hear, and John Cena's like Captain America. You just don't want to believe that kind of thing about him.
He definitely was, though. I just say, there is no smoke without fire. If a lot of people are saying that, and the reason is the options he has. He's a young lad getting famous for the first time, probably with his high school sweetheart, and he's like, here, I'm gonna take it. A lot of people would. I'm not saying it's right. I disagree with it, but I'd say that it probably did happen. Macho Man is actually mine, and I'm gonna talk about the bigger rumors involving Macho Man. The Stephanie McMahon one.
Oh yeah.
Because
that's worse.
Yeah, for me that just Macho Man is on my Mount Rushmore of wrestling, and it's got that little asterisk around them, and the Elizabeth thing isn't great either, so you're just oh god, just let me enjoy your fucking matches instead of thinking about you and 14-year-old Stephanie McMahon. I think that enough time has passed, and I think it would have come out by now, and they've been public enough that we know if it was true, so I'm happy to let it lie. But if it ever comes out, that's another wrestler. Benoit was the wrestler that I ended up getting into wrestling because of after WrestleMania 20. And then Macho Man is one of my faves ever. That just ruined wrestling for me. It'd be they're all cunts. Corporate Keen, what's your rumor you believe?
Obviously, I don't want to give away names for legal reasons, defamation lawsuits and all that. But there was a wrestler whose name rhymed with Schmatey Schmarvy, who I heard that I basically heard that she ran all the women out of Irish wrestling. But like, I know obviously like there's women in Irish wrestling now, but like back in the day there was more women than men. Like there was a thriving women's wrestling scene. Like Shimmer used to put on shows here, Shine, Stardom. They were all based in Dublin City. We had a Dublin City wrestling scene, and then Katie Harvey came along and just I said her name, came along and just got rid of everyone and just ruined it for everyone. And I'm hoping it's not true. I can't say that it is or that it's not. But I'm hoping it's not, because that would be very disappointing.
Let's put it to Katie Harvey. Are the rumours true? Did you run other women out of Irish wrestling, like St. Patrick ran the Snakes out of Ireland?
Yeah, you know what? I helped them pack their bags. I drove them to the Stena line. Of course I didn't. I didn't have that kind of power. Like, I would have driven half the men out as well if that had been the case. Like.
I heard Defiant only happened because Katie ruined women's wrestling so much they needed a Defiant.
They had to recover. They had to recover.
There's a recovery. Yeah, this is it.
They just keep me around out of fear.
The
elbow injury wasn't an accident.
This has been planned for years.
Yeah,
man.
they want to rebuild women's wrestling now.
Amazing. Now I like as well, like that's like a low-key funny kind of behind the scenes story there, but I like how we're probably after starting something now. People are like, is there more to this?
Justy probably has a series of tweets written already.
Yeah, this is it. Justy, you're set. Work away. Guys, we have a busy show coming up. We're going to be looking through things we have hot takes about. Harvey's Hot Take is back with the return of Katie Harvey. We're going to be talking through the good and the bad from the in-ring stuff for the week, and we're also going to be previewing Fastlane this weekend. But before we get kicked off, we'd like to pay tribute to Christopher Pallies, a.k.a. King Kong Bundy, who passed away yesterday at the age of 61, just 4 hours after sending his last tweet. I find those things really, really sad about these things, where it's like, you know, if someone's sick or something like that, or their old age or something, it's like, okay, fair enough, you know, we all gotta go sometime. But if it's like someone that was active and on Twitter and it's like, see you tomorrow, guys, and then that shit just social media, that stuff after someone's died just makes me really sad. The cause of death, it's unknown at this time. Bundy wrestled Fritz von Erich in the latter's retirement match in Texas Stadium in 1982. He had a gimmick where he would refuse to just settle for a 3 count. He demanded referee count to 5 instead of 3 as well. He was the innovator of that. But he's perhaps best known for his match and feud in the main event of WrestleMania 2, where he wrestled Hulk Hogan in a steel cage. He also had a brief run, and I didn't know this until afterwards, on TV show Married with Children, where he was Peggy Bundy's brother, which doesn't really make sense, because wouldn't she have to take Al Bundy's name? Like, how would King Kong Bundy be her brother? Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Maybe she was also Bundy and it just happened that way. Yeah, I never knew that. As well as appearing on Boy Meets World as well. There's so many random appearances. But he worked the independent scene until around 2007. Was involved in the class action lawsuit against WWE. That's probably where you last heard his name pop up. Obviously wasn't successful. And yeah, we'd like to pass on our condolences to all of his fans, all of his friends, all of his family, and anyone affected by this death at this time. So rest in peace, Bundy. But look, tributes, you know, especially since we don't know the man or know who we're talking about, it's difficult to kind of put into words how we feel. So usually what we do when we, like, a wrestler passes and we're looking for the right succinct words is we turn to one man, Lance Storm, who puts it in such a blunt and honest way and just gives the facts and just gives his account of his time with that wrestler or relationship. Even if he didn't have any, he'll still pay tribute. We're not going to go to Lance Armstrong this week. We are going to actually, for now anyway, a lot of people are coming back and they're saying, oh, I really like that, and it's like still the for social media stuff gets a lot of reactions. So I don't know, we might come back to Lance Storm tributes, but for now we're going to try something else, because I don't know if you noticed, this is true, by the way, Enzo Amore, he's back. Is Enzo ever back for good reason? Like, is there ever a time where it's like, Enzo Amore donated a lot of money to charity, he helped an old lady cross her? No, it's always like Enzo Amore making a show of himself again. Tweeted out yesterday. I'll have the tweet here. Alright, I'll try to do my Enzo. Enzo Amore, you're soft, you're sad. Wait, what did he say? And you can't teach that. There we go. R.I.P. King Kong Bundy, the epitome of pro wrestling. I recall going 2 shows at MSG with my grandparents. My grandma Rafaela loved them and hyped up the whole ride in.
Plenty of wrestlers risked it all that night, but I never forgot the guy with the green tongue who ate the turnbuckle. That is so perfectly shit. I love everything about that. Like, it is amazing. I never forgot. Like, you could not write that shit. He has since come back. We can exclusively reveal, and he's amended the tweet. He's apologized for it. So we have the new Enzo Amore tribute to King Kong Bundy. I would like to apologize for my earlier tweet. Of course I know who King Kong Bundy is. I just watched the whole documentary series about him on Netflix that the whole world is talking about. His attitude towards women was questionable, but I've been there too, buddy, and will never forget his contribution in the ring. Rest in peace. Sorry, I believe I said that we turned to Lance Armstrong earlier on. I meant Lance Storm. It'd be weird if we turned to Lance Armstrong, but I guess we're turning to Enzo Amore right now. So anyway, guys, that's rest in peace, King Kong Bundy. Anyway, and fuck you, Enzo Amore. Just got that in. Anyway, guys, we're going to talk about the news for the week in wrestling. We're going to give our hot takes on the stories that have been grabbing our attention. So let's get it underway, because it's time for Hot Takes. Hot takes for the week. I'm going to get us kicked off with a real quick one this week. I saw the weirdest online argument ever. So The Rock last week put up on Instagram 2 separate posts. He bought his mama house and he bought his dad a house. And it's the most Irish thing ever. It wasn't on an Irish website. And people were like, who does he think he is? He's just showing off. Like, what's he doing? Like, there's no need for that. We know you're rich. Don't be putting it up on Instagram now. Don't be showing us that. Like, the Rock's after changing. Like, I don't know. It was in text, so I don't know if they talked that way, but that's how I read it. I read it as an old country Irish granny, where it's like, they've got notions he does. You know, like, for fuck's sake, lads, Jesus Christ, let him have this. It's a social media post. It's something like, if you ever get too wound up about a social media post, there's a very easy solution, and it applies for all posts at all times. Put the phone down, walk away from the phone, because you won't care about it 10 minutes later. Don't, like, unless it's something that actually matters, unless it's something that contributes to the global conversation and helps our world, you know what I mean? It's like, if it's a guy putting up a picture or something he's happy about that he did for his parents, you don't need to get angry about that. It doesn't need to change your opinion. It doesn't need to ruin your day. Like, like The Rock would have been my original favourite wrestler ever. Now I'm a bit like, I don't really get The Rock anymore. I don't like Instagram Rock, where he's like all positive and talking about running for the presidency and like do-gooder type deal. Like, I like The Rock when he was like slagging everyone and he was being a badass and stuff like that. That's my version of The Rock. But at the same time, let him be. Like, this is his personal life. You don't have to follow him. You don't have to like it. You don't have to care. He bought his parent. Like, I'd probably put up a social media post. I'm not going to lie. I might stick out a fucking tweet. Like, I'll stick out tweets if I have a bad date or something like that. So, if I buy my parents a gaff, I'm definitely going to put out a tweet or something about that. Like, let him have his moment. He doesn't have notions. He knows he's rich. He'd, like, be able to write every single one of our girlfriends if he wanted to. If he just looked at them, like, The Rock does not need this ego boost, right? He knows he's The Rock. He's not doing this to be like, because he's insecure and he needs to show off. He's doing it because it's a fun post. He's got to present a brand and an image to the public, and that's his job. So just let him be. Let him buy a fucking house for his parents. Why was I reading this week? Anyway, moving on.
The Rock is the fucking man, right? Just gonna put that out there. But do you know who's not the man?
Who?
The person who I fucking argued with on Twitter last night or the night before, can't remember which. So I just saw them put out, I don't know who it was, I'm not naming names, but somebody put out on Twitter that Triple H invading Randy Orton's house in 2009 wasn't the fucking best. They said it was shit. And it was the best. It was fucking amazing. I was, I think, 10 when that happened, and I remember watching that being like, this is the coolest shit ever. And then I saw it a few years ago again, somebody like took the piss out of it, but when I watched it back, I was like, that's still fucking deadly. And I loved it. It was like, I mean, the match itself wasn't great, that's true, but that was amazing build-up, and I fucking loved it. I loved every second of it.
That was me. I put that out.
Well, you're wrong. So I stand by what entirely was. This was meant to be a serious segment about Lufisto and her retirement. I actually changed it because I was like, no, Triple H invading Randy Orton's house is so fucking good, and I recommend everyone watches it.
I don't want to argue with you and take that away from you. If you enjoy something, I don't want to take that away from you.
Don't take my childhood memory away from you.
I'm not gonna. I didn't personally see it that way, but it's okay. We're allowed like different things.
You would have been a grown man as well when it happened, wouldn't you?
Yeah, like I was thinking about replying and like dissecting why it's shit, but then I'm like, just let him enjoy his things. It's fine. All right. Well, you can enjoy that. I won't take it away from you. I disagree. That's okay. Look, did we just do that? If this was on Twitter, we'd go to war. Like,
wasn't that the segment where they had like an actress playing Randy Orton's wife, even though like his actual wife was regularly posted on social media, and I think had actually been on an episode or two of Raw.
Yeah,
that was weird.
And they had a fake Orton stuntman to go out the window, but it was very clearly not Orton.
They had a stuntman for a wrestler.
Yeah.
Oh, gas.
It's
so good. It's so fucking good. This is what everything you're saying is just proving my point. Like.
This is the thing. We're gonna disagree about things because you like things that are shit. So, like, you actually agree, but you disagree. You know what I mean? All right, fair enough. You enjoy it. That's fair enough. Anyway, on to our main event. There can only be one, as we're getting the hot takes back. The originator of the hot takes here on Low Blows. It's time for Harvey's hot take.
I don't know. Keen loving that was a scalding hot take. I think probably the most controversial take we've had on this.
Calling me out like Jesus.
Okay, so what we're going to talk about is the Alicia Fox Arn Anderson story. So like he got let go a week or two ago now, which seems strange timing to a lot of people. The week before like the Flair birthday celebration, everyone kind of knew there was more to the story. So for those who don't know, apparently Alicia Fox turned up to a live event drunk, and Arn Anderson let her wrestle anyway. And then Arn Anderson got fired, but Alicia Fox didn't. And a lot of people have been really outraged by that. And it is fairly outrageous. Arn Anderson is like a legend. But at the same time, he absolutely should have been fired. Because the most important thing in wrestling is keeping your opponent safe, keeping the people you're working with safe. And he 100% did not do that, letting her go in there drunk. Now, she should face disciplinary action. And like, apparently she was offered rehab and then she disappeared. Like, how lucky are you to work for WWE? Because they will pay for rehab for anyone who has ever worked for them. So even if you worked for them years ago for a year, they'll pay for your rehab. Like, that's amazing. And
it's expensive. Like,
it's expensive,
yeah.
So, like, she needs to get help and then she needs to be disciplined. And, like, the reason why this story got to me is, like, I've been in situations where a wrestler has turned up. Twice it's happened to me. A wrestler has turned up really drunk on a show that I've been on. The first time it happened, I didn't realise how drunk they were until after the match. And I was so annoyed at myself that I let them wrestle.
Right.
It wasn't an episode show. It wasn't a Fight Factory show. It was a show years ago. But I did have a bit of pull with the booker. And I was so upset at myself that I let them wrestle because when I spoke to them after the match, they could barely string a sentence together. So I always said, like, I would never let that happen again. So then a few years later, again, when a wrestler was drunk on a show, I did say something. Ended up a bit of a falling out. We had a little bit of an argument backstage, but I felt so much better having said something because it's just so dangerous to let someone in the ring like that. So yeah, I just think it's a really shitty thing Alicia Fox to have done and a really stupid thing for Arn Anderson to have done. Yeah, so it's just anyone who's saying that was the wrong call by WWE just really needs to kind of take a look at themselves and think about the safety of wrestling. Like, wrestling can go wrong when everyone's sober. I mean, look at me.
Yeah, this is it.
You know, so
you only had 2 points that day. She was grand.
So to let someone in intoxicated is just absolutely beyond belief to me. The two wrestlers I just mentioned there, by the way, I'm really happy to say both of them have cleaned up their acts and both of them have apologised to me since and made amends, which is a really important part of recovery, which is why I'll never kind of like slag them off or name names. Yeah. But it just reminded me of that because I'd seen it firsthand, and I just think it's an absolute joke that she was allowed into the ring like that.
Yeah, in WWE in 2019.
Yeah.
You know, like Arn Anderson, maybe in his day, that was more of a done thing. It is not his day anymore. Yeah.
And look, it's not like it was the main event of WrestleMania.
Yeah.
And, like, you know, the show couldn't go on without her. Like, I'm not being funny. Like, what was her match? Like,
any Alicia Fox match is expendable. I have never turned around and said, if that Alicia Fox match wasn't on that show, that wouldn't be the same show.
I was like, was there no other girl backstage where they could have been like, they could have even covered for, oh, she's not well. Can we throw someone else in here?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, no, there's nothing on it, and like, yeah, it's a shame as well. Like, it's sad because there is alcohol and rehab being mentioned. We don't know how deep the issues lie. But then I saw Alicia. Have you seen this put up an Instagram about it? And she's just like in her underwear basically, and she put up an Instagram basically the equivalent of I just don't give a fuck. And it's just like, don't come out fighting against this.
yeah, like you should just be thankful and sorry. Go to rehab and be thankful you still have a job. Like,
yeah, this is it. Like, you have an employer who, understanding or not, historically they have to be understanding about this, and they're being understanding.
Yeah,
You could, and a lot would say easy should, lose your job. So take this one on the chin. Anyway, look, we're going to talk about the good and the bad from the week. While we play this, we're going to press Katie Harvey, see if she'll be able to name names for us. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for...
Say something stupid.
Say something stupid, worst of the week. In at number 5, one from wrestling in general. You didn't get to do this for your hot take.
Oh, right, yeah, this is meant to be my hot take, right? So, last week, Lufisto retired. And for those who don't know who Lufisto is, she's a fucking amazing independent wrestler, female independent wrestler who's done a lot for women's wrestling and that sort of thing. And, yeah, she retired, and it just went very under the radar. And I read her speech, and it was the most depressing thing I've ever read. Basically, she retired because, like, she'd been wrestling for, like, 20 years.
Yeah.
Like, she'd been wrestling for ages. She retired because, like, her knee at this stage was so fucked that she couldn't, like, do it anymore.
Fuck.
And it's just basically she retired, like, it was an unsatisfactory retirement. Do you know what I mean? Like, she's upset
wanted.
because she never got signed anywhere. She never, WWE, TNA, like, nowhere signed Lufisto. And for me, I just think that's fucking shit. Like, when I look at some of the wrestlers who have been signed, over the years by WWE, TNA, whoever, there's so many who you could take out and say Lufisto's better. And it's like, after all those years, after everything, it's like she still didn't make it. And, like, it's the fact that she's not happy with it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like, it's just sick. And even just there, like, as a Lufisto fan, I didn't see that until, like, the day after it was announced that she was retiring. And it's like, it's just everything she's ever done. It's so under the radar. You know what I mean? And I just think it's bullshit. I don't know.
And what, like, kind of... I'm not that familiar with her work, probably because she never got signed. But why did other people get signed and she didn't? Because I do know Lufisto, and I know, like, when I think of her, I do think of her in that kind of hallowed kind of thought. I'm like, oh, she's a really good, legendary women's wrestler. But I just, like, what, like... Why? How did she go under the radar for so long?
And I always fear of, like, whenever a wrestler is like, they don't get signed or don't make it somewhere, but they're really good, I'm like, did they do something wrong? Are they like a bad person? But I haven't heard anything, so I'm assuming she's not. I'm assuming she just didn't get signed, and I don't know why. Like, she's like more than good enough. Do you know what I mean? It's frustrating.
Just was never in anyone's kind of plans.
Yeah,
they never
it's
needed
just bad timing with her, like, because, like, she's been wrestling 20 years, so she would have been like the diva era, you know what I mean? And she doesn't look like a typical diva. She's
Exactly,
not
that's what I was
like
thinking.
a blonde Barbie doll, so she missed out on that era. She did a lot for Shimmer and Shine and stuff, didn't she? So, like, yeah, she was always on the fringes.
And it's just depressing, you know what I mean? Like, if she was happy with it, then it'd be fine, that kind of way. If she was happy with the career and she was happy with, not getting signed anywhere or whatever. But the fact that she's not is just, like, so shit.
You know what, though? Like, obviously we know there's nothing we can do about it from here, but, like, there is some positives to be taken in that, like, a lot of people who are legendary within wrestling but never got that kind of big spotlight, I'm thinking of Robbie Brookside, for example, are getting work now and are getting signed by WWE in coaching roles and in mentoring and agent roles. Now NXT UK is opening up. They're talking about in NXT Japan. You have to believe Mexico's going to be in their radar at some stage. So there are opportunities for veterans that weren't there before. They don't have to turn out like the wrestler movie, you know what I mean? So, I don't know, maybe there might be some kind of redemptive thing. We're seeing that a lot these days, and someone of her name value obviously would be on their radar in some way. It's just, again, like coming into the, if you're coming into the women's evolution kind of era, then they want young people, and she's at the tail end of her career, so bad timing. But it doesn't mean that she can't contribute in some way. we can only hope, though. Obviously, we can't affect the situation in any way from here. Sad to see, though. That does sound... I didn't see the retirement thing, but that does sound really depressing. And at number 4, not as depressing. That probably should have been higher. Not going to lie. One from Raw. And this is just real quickly. This is like bad HR, right? This is awful. Like, so they have Heavy Machinery, and like they basically did an interview with them. Again, you have to, like, if you're taking WWE, this is like WWE presents itself as a company. Here's the owner, here's the commissioner, here's the general manager. So you then have to judge this within that context, and it's like, hey, Heavy Machinery, welcome to Raw. Here's a video package of your new colleagues all bitching about you. And then they showed them a video package of the guys being like, I don't really like those Heavy Machinery guys. It's like, that's awful. That's awful. You're a publicly traded company. Like, don't do that to new employees. There's nothing getting called up and they're like, oh, I admire these guys so much. I really looked up to them in my wrestling journey. And it's like, they all hate you. And here's proof. Absolutely bad out. Like, Heavy Machinery, look, they won their match, so it all ends well. But, like, yeah, I have to feel bad for them at that stage. In at number 3, talk to me about MLW.
So MLW, they had a cage match for the MLW title. It was Filthy Tom Lawler versus Low Ki. And the cage match ended with them climbing over the top and climbing over to the outside, right? So it's just a little drop, and then you've won. That's all you have to do. You just have to fall off the cage, and you've won the MLW title, the most prestigious prize in your company. There's nothing you could possibly want more than that in that moment. And all you have to do is drop from, like, halfway down the cage to the floor. And they wouldn't do it. They just started punching each other, and they were like, you know, like trying to climb down further, and then punching each other, and then punch each other again. But it's like, right, if you punch your opponent, he's going to fall and he's going to win. Why aren't you climbing? Why don't you just drop? Just drop. Like, I know, like, they got caught once or twice in the cage. That obviously happens and all that, but just drop. Just fall. Just, it's right. All you have to do is just let go. It's like anyone can do that. It's not. Oh, and the frustrating part is, do you want to know how it ended?
Oh.
That exact thing happened. Filthy Tom Lawler got hit and fell, and surprisingly enough, due to the rules of the cage match, he won. And then
that's so unsatisfying.
But then also after the match,
United scored. Sorry, we had
I told you it was going to happen.
Holy shit!
I told both of you, right, off air, unfortunately, but you might have it on the mic. 3-0 United. That's what I said, and that's what I stand by.
Okay, right. We'll follow.
Ajax destroyed Real Madrid, and that's going to happen tonight.
Okay, sorry. Anyway, he fell.
So he fell. He won the match, and then he was assaulted by 3 men. One of them, I saw a picture of this like before, like it went on air or whatever, and I spent ages trying to identify one of them in particular. I was like, who the fuck is that? I've never seen the man before in my life. Who is it? It was Simon Gotch, but he shaved his mustache. So I was like, I had no idea who he was. And it was like, the commentator went, it's Simon Gotch. I was like, which one's Simon Gotch? Well, I'm assuming it's not the big Samoan lad. But who's that guy? That can't be Simon Gotch. And then, I don't know who the other 2 are still. They're unknown. But the Samoan lad did a big splash, and it was one of the best splashes I've ever seen off the top of a cage onto Filthy Tom Lawler. Pretty cool, but, you know, the cage match just... That could have been Low Ki, but he decided to punch Tom Lawler off the cage to his victory, I suppose. And
like, so it's Low Ki and Tom Lawler. I've heard you talk about them. So is this a blood feud type deal? Is that why they're in a steel cage?
Yeah, no, it is.
That's why I don't like steel cage matches sometimes. Why are they both getting out and trying to, you know, if it's a blood feud, why are they like, aha, you're my worst nemesis. Now, so climb this wall and escape. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I've always wondered that. It's like, was it WWE? It was WWE, like 2004 or something like that. They had like a steel cage with barbed wire on top of it. Am I getting that right?
Yeah, it's that. I thought that was the Ambrose thing, the Ambrose match.
Did they do that they might have done it for Ambrose match as well, but I'm thinking like, I think JBL was in it. Or Eddie Guerrero, or maybe it was 2 of them, or Big Show. One of them was in it. And this is what I'm saying, did they? Because I might be imagining it. But, like, I think it was like... But that's it. It stopped it from escaping, because there was barbed wire all around it. So it's like, that is exactly what a cage should look like. It's supposed to be, you know... Like, imagine UFC. Like, fucking... What you call it?
The octagon.
Yeah, John Jones wins by, like, fucking climbing the octagon and running away. Like, it's... Okay. Like, congratulations on proving you can climb over a cage and run away. Congrats.
Yeah, no, there are problems there that I think people need to sort out. Anyway, in at number 2, one you've been revving up to all weekend. So, Katie, we're going to just let you off the leash. Go for it.
I feel like a bad person. Like,
no, you're not. This is all fair.
I feel like other people are thinking this as well, though.
Yeah.
So, like, a few weeks ago, I had my big rant about China going into the Hall of Fame and how, like, you know, she should be going in by herself. And my issue was that other women who not necessarily don't deserve it are going in, but they're going in ahead of her because she should be number one going in. And this week they announced Torrie Wilson is going into the Hall of Fame. Now, don't get me wrong, I like Torrie Wilson. I queued up for an hour on HMV to meet her a few years ago.
What?
I was a big WCW head. Like, her and Billy Kidman were couple goals to me. Like, I like her.
Is that like, you know, when you got together with Phil? You're like,
He is my Billy Kidman.
We can be the Torrie and Billy Kidman of Irish wrestling. Brilliant.
Yes. I do like Torrie, and like I've enjoyed a lot of the things she's contributed, like especially in WCW. But Hall of Fame worthy, really? Like, and then I was thinking maybe I'm missing something, so I went back and like read like her wiki profile, and like no, it's just a long list of things that would not fly in 2019. Like, that's all it is. Yeah. It's all sexy storylines. It's all degrading storylines. It's all, you know, just I mean, like the whole thing with Dawn Marie and her father and him dying during sex and like, and then fighting in the casket and then settling this with a bra and panties match. Like her first match in WWE was a bra and panties match. Her and Stacy Keibler against Lita and Trish. Like that was the merging of two women's divisions was a bra and panties match. And then they went and had the first ever lingerie match. What? How is that different from a bra and panties match? like how is that a thing? Like, and I understand, like, and I don't shit on the Divas era. I like the Divas era. I like a lot of the girls, and like I understand even people like Sable being put into the Hall of Fame because she was the first of her kind. Yeah. She opened some doors. Yeah. But like, Torrie was just the first of the fitness models who got hired, taught to wrestle a little bit, and then
a little bit,
like she was one of the worst in the Rumble. Yeah, like let's be honest, like, and yeah, I just can't. It just upsets me so much that Chyna is not in there on her own merit, and like Torrie Wilson is. What's she going to put in her speech? Like how is that going to start?
This is what I wanted to say, right? So I normally don't watch the Hall of Fame, but I'm really curious to see like her video package and like her speech. It's just like what Dawn Marie's dad getting fucked to death. Like, that's all it is. Like.
No, it was the other way around.
Oh,
Dawn Marie had sex with Al Wilson.
Oh, sorry, yeah.
But it was all a clever ruse because Dawn Marie was Torrie Wilson. Well, they started together in HLA, of course. Legendary career. Yeah. Let's go back. Yeah. Started together as it was hot lesbian action, so they were friends, presumably. And then they became enemies, and then Dawn Marie hatched the plan to kill her father by having sex with him. Al Wilson, rest in peace. He'll get a good shout out.
He's going to be in the front row of the Hall of Fame.
Well, no, he won't because he's dead. But like, I hope there's a big tribute to Al Wilson. Man.
That led to a stepmother versus stepdaughter match. Like that was the big storyline that came out of that.
There was a whole wedding and everything.
And then there was the Ric Flair storylines and like she turned on Billy Kidman for Hulk Hogan. Actually, that one still personally hurts me. But it's just like, come on, lads. Like she's like I like her, but she's not Hall of Fame worthy.
Hulk Hogan. Of all people, Hulk Hogan.
I think that was the storyline, wasn't it?
That's a WCW.
Yeah,
now I'm full on, like, get her out of that Hall of Fame now. Hulk Hogan. You had Billy Kidman. Hulk Hogan.
I know. Why isn't Billy Kidman in the Hall? Torrie Wilson is going into the Hall of Fame before Billy Kidman.
Shit.
Like, when you think about the people she's going in before.
The Rock. Shawn Michaels. They haven't got in yet.
But like, even the women that have been on WWE that she's going in before, I would love to be flying them all in that meeting when they're deciding who should go in next.
I actually heard exclusive audio from this meeting and can reveal that the exact meeting was Torrie Wilson's around, isn't she?
But the worst is I read a report that said they've been trying to get her for years.
Oh, God.
What?
There was a story, I don't know how true this was. Again, this is news sites back in the pre-Women's Evolution era, so this could be total rumor. But I heard a story that she was working as a high-class escort, like, for a few years after WWE. So I imagine, like, she wasn't that hard to find. I don't know, like, if that's still the case or what's going on. My favourite personal Torrie Wilson moment is probably her most recent moment on Raw. We talked about this on the show where she found out she was in the Women's Royal Rumble and like she put a clip of her up on Instagram just eating like spaghetti or something, and then she's like, oh shit, and starts doing press ups. I was like, where was this, Torrie? That was classic. Anyway, yeah, good luck at that, Torrie. No, it's like it's
so
there.
upset, like.
No one's gonna disagree. Like it was what the fuck. But what are you gonna do? Anyway, look, in at number 1, you might have noticed on Low Blows, there's been a lot of Undertaker-related news these past few weeks. Obviously, he's doing Inside the Ropes. He's up in Belfast. You can go see him yourself for all your money. And then probably just rob your granny just to be safe as well and get an autograph and a meet and greet with him. But he's also doing, like, then the news came out that he's doing the Double or Nothing weekend. He's doing whatever the Conrad podcast thing is. And then he's, like, charging $25,000 an hour for appearance fees and stuff like that. And then he's taking WWE out. We haven't spoken much about it. I don't know if you guys have not had anything to say about it, but I just have been kind of wait and see with this because there's two sides to this coin. On one hand, it's like, I do want to hear Undertaker's stories in the same way I've heard everyone else's because he'd have fucking shitloads. And then on the other, it's like, I don't want to see the Undertaker like that. You know what I mean? Maybe on a podcast appearance or an one-off interview or something like that. Yeah, great. Like, have him be out of character or something. But, like, I want to preserve... He's one of those guys that's always kept kayfabe. And, like, been really passionate about it. Paris Saint-Germain scored. Fuck off. But he's always been one of these guys who's kept character, kept kayfabe and whatnot alive. So I also wanted him to do that. So I bit my tongue. Then an interview was released last week of him talking out of character. And I can safely say, I do not want any of this. It's The Undertaker doing a corporate gig. He's doing an interview with Pastor Ed Young at like a pastor ceremony thing where basically a priest is in the ring and talking about how it's like, now as you can see I'm in a wrestling ring and it's like American crazy priests, like it's like next level where it's like put your hands out and feel the Lord in you. It's like that, like it's like we all wrestle with ourselves, we wrestle with our conscience, we wrestle with everything, and then the lights go out and the Undertaker's bong goes off, no pop, because it's a crowd full of other priests.
This sounds amazing. What are you complaining about?
You love it. It'll be right up your alley. It is corporate.
It sounds like a TNA segment. That's why it sounds like an Impact thing.
It's really bad. And then the lights go off. The lights come back up, and Undertaker standing there, but not as the Undertaker, just like Undertaker on a Tuesday on Instagram. You know what I mean? He's like got a plaid shirt and then just normal jeans, and it's just like, hey guys, I'm Mark. And then it's like, here's the thing as well though, like he does the interview and he's talking about it, and they've got all these rehearsed stories, but there's a reason Undertaker doesn't do any of these things, because he's excellent as the Undertaker. He was also excellent even on the mic as the American Badass as well. Let's not forget, that's when like This Is My Yard and all was created. He's great at that, but like kind of a vanilla guy. You know the way when you hear lads doing podcasts and stuff like that, you're like, oh, I wonder what they're like. JR, for example, when I heard he was doing a podcast, I'm like, JR, he was a commentator. He's got to be great at this. And then it's like, oh, JR's really creepy. And it's like, oh, that's maybe he's not. And you see what they're really like. And some of them just don't have it when they're being themselves and not being the character that they portrayed. Undertaker's kind of like that. He's just a regular guy, and he's just talking about how, oh, Michelle told me I better get down to church sometime, and I told her no, and then, you know, she eventually got me, and, you know, God's kind of in our home and in our lives. And then, like, your man's feeding him stories, and he doesn't know how to he doesn't know how to tell stories because he's never done anything like this. You know what I mean? And so he's just like, oh, yeah, Vince called me up, and he's like, Undertaker, yeah, we need you to be dead. Are you the Undertaker? And I just said, yeah, I am Vince, and that's how the Undertaker was born. And he doesn't know how to, like, sell the stories. He doesn't know the highs and the lows in his own life stories. So it's just like, this is ruining everything. Like, your good memories and good vibes towards the Undertaker are just evaporating before your eyes fast. It's like, stop this now. I do not want any more of this. Leave the Undertaker. And now the problem is he's going to do it. There's talks about him, like, doing a fucking podcast now. I don't know how true this are, but I do not want to hear hey guys, you know the one thing me and Michelle always talk about? MeUndies.com. It's like, I do not want to hear that.
This is absolutely what I want to hear. Oh my god, it's like fucking The Undertaker as like James Milner or some shit like that.
It is. It's awful. It's like footballer grade bad interview. It's like, well, at the end of the day, you know, Vince McMahon used to say, pull your socks up. Like, oh god.
I want The Undertaker doing a podcast where he talks about some like mundane shit, you know, like him fucking having Weetabix and then heating them up, but then they got a bit too hot. So he gave him a minute for them to cool down. And then he had them and they were okay. We didn't eat them all because it wasn't too filling, but it was just okay, I suppose. I want shit like that. I want like...
That's what he is. He's Mark. He's just a really regular guy. And you're just like, no, you're so built up in my head. You're the leader of the locker room. You're the guy who, like, you know, at the Montreal Screwjob, you stood outside and intimidated people. Turns out you just had nothing to say. You weren't being silent and mysterious. You're just quiet. You're just a regular guy. It fucking ruins it, and I fucking hate it. Oh, it was so bad. I'll give you the link, Ian. You'll love it.
Have you ever seen that Facebook page called Gots Doing Normal Things?
No.
It is exactly what it sounds like. It's just random pictures people have taken on the street and stuff of Gots doing normal things. And I feel like that's what The Undertaker is now. They have like Gots doing their shopping in the supermarket or like sitting in the park or feeding ducks and shit like that.
It is.
Yeah.
That's exactly it. It's so depressing. Like, it's just ruining it. Anyway, look, I need some positivity in my life and fast. I need to care about wrestling again. So let's get on to the good for me, because it's time for... We just spent like the time off air continuing to talk about how bad this was. I gave a half an hour of my life to this, guys. It's really bad. Truncated, this is awesome. There hasn't been that much good on this week. Wrestling's about to go into hyperdrive next week. We've got Scrappermania, Fastlane and all that. But this week is kind of the calm before the storm. So only 4. In at number 4, one from SmackDown Live. Keane, do you remember a few weeks ago we were talking about, rest in peace, we were talking about courage. And we're talking about our own ideas, the Bobby Guns Open Challenge, and how like anyone could answer it. Why does not more than one person answer an open challenge? Why don't half the locker room run out and go, well, I'm answering it as well? They listened to our idea. Further proof WWE are listening to Low Blows. R-Truth came out, and R-Truth is really good, like, in his role. Like, I gave out about him remaining United States champion last week when he was wrestling Andrade and Rey Mysterio, and I was like, oh, you have a feud and a division there, why use R-Truth? But he is really good on the mic, and him and Carmella really work. So he came out, did a good promo, still talking about how he's going to do John Cena proud, you know, his childhood hero, despite the fact he was a world champion when John Cena debuted. But it's really good. And then he does an open challenge. And then what's funny for me is Samoa Joe, so originally they have Lacey Evans come out, and she just like walks the ring and does what Lacey Evans' gimmick is, where she just walks halfway down the ramp and then walks back up and then just is gone, and she just interrupted something for no reason. And then R-Truth gets on the mic and he's like, hey, come back here, sexy gloves. It's just so random. And then Samoa Joe comes out and it's like, oh shit. And then what's funny to me is that Rey Mysterio then comes out after him, and it's like Rey Mysterio, and then he runs out to the ring. But he did the exact same thing last week when Andrade was answering the open challenge, and it's like Rey Mysterio's like, one of these weeks I'm gonna get there first. It's like I just imagine Rey Mysterio in the back being like, oh fuck, R-Truth's got an open challenge, and sprinting, but there's always someone ahead of him in the queue. So he does it, and then Andrade comes out and they did a 4-way. Samoa Joe ended up winning the US title, so now they have the belt in that division. Mustafa Ali's back as well. He came back this week to help Daniel Bryan, or he attacked Daniel Bryan when he's wrestling AJ Styles, so that was good. So they have their little mid-card division, and now they can actually do something. But I do still want to see more R-Truth on SmackDown. I don't want any less of him. You have a division, put the title around that, have R-Truth do funny shit on the side. So really good for me on SmackDown. In at number 3, talk to me about what's going on NXT.
So it's just a quick one on NXT. So Sasha Banks and Bayley are the first, I say the first women's tag team champions. See, they've conditioned me to the lie because they're not the first champions.
Trying to get you.
Yeah, but they're the women's tag team champions. And I don't know how this is going to work initially because they're not tied to a brand and there isn't that many established tag teams. But I've been pleasantly surprised that they're planning on like touring the belts. So they came to NXT basically to say we want to take on any team out there, which is really cool because there are a lot of girls in NXT floating around without a clear direction. So if they start teaming up for a tag team, that's deadly, gives them something to do. But what I really liked about this is they referenced the fact that Sasha and Bayley were feuding in NXT and had come back as best friends and tag champions. Because I hate when like there's a heel turn back to a face turn and they just don't acknowledge all the shit that's gone on in the past. Like remember when Randy Orton tried to blow up John Cena and then like a year later they were best pals again? Like that sort of stuff. Like just throw it out there every now and again. Like
it's
what
very
happened.
Batman versus Superman. Oh, my mom's name is Lucy too.
Your mother's name is Martha?
Yeah, Martha. Yeah, that's the one. I hate that.
I hate it so much. So I love the fact that like, and Izzy was in the crowd, the little girl. So I love the fact that they were like, last time I was here, I was a bit bad, and they referenced the match where she like stole Izzy's headband and she made Izzy cry and all this sort of stuff. But they're like, Bayley was like, it's cool, we're friends again. And it was just a nice way of closing the loop.
Nice.
I just like that they went back and referenced everything.
Yeah.
And then the fact that they're now opening the belts up to everyone.
I like how Izzy is also only a fan of Bayley in NXT. She's like an original, because she's a teenager now, so she's getting opinions. And she's like, you cool on NXT, Bayley.
She's real sassy because she was trained to be a pro wrestler and they stopped her. So she had a post up this week about how she's joined MMA and she was having either her first grading or her first fight. But she was basically like, they told me I couldn't be a pro wrestler, so this is the next best thing. I'm coming back to pro wrestling.
Oh, God.
Who's they?
Probably your parents.
Yeah, but like on one hand I was like, she's exactly like I was at that age, and like on the other hand I'm like, you're not actually a celebrity, love, calm down.
Yeah, it's tricky. It's like
what's really weird? I don't know if we mentioned this on the show before, but like, do you ever see when Izzy's doing like meet and greets at shows, like indie shows in America?
Yeah.
And there's like creepy fucking men paying like real money to meet Izzy.
Will you sign my sock?
Yeah.
Man.
It's not even like she's like an actor, like a child actor on a TV show. She's literally just a fan.
I don't get it.
We need to stop like making fans famous. Like Izzy was great for that role, you know what I mean? But maybe like if in future make that like a wrestler's kid and the stooge, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Let's not make these fans famous. Like, let's not have another Brock Lesnar guy is what I'm saying here. Like, let's not have these, because it goes. These people aren't ready for fame. They're not ready for it, and then they're, all of a sudden they're getting dogpiled on Twitter, and it's like, guys, I know she's being a bit of a cocky shit. Still a child.
Yeah.
So they're not ready for fame and all that comes with it. So, like, let's stop making fans famous. That's another thing we can add in. Say something stupid. We're on This Is Awesome. We're staying positive. Anyway, interesting from NXT. I didn't actually know that happened. In at number 2, talk to me about what's going on in Evolve.
Yeah, so I got into Evolve.
Okay.
Basically, it's FCW. So, it's like NXT's developmental. They have a developmental in their developmental. And they have FIP, so it's like developmental for their developmental's developmental. It's really cool. I like it. It's a nice little structure. But I find it entertaining. I know like a lot of people don't like it because they don't like when a promotion is like, under WWE kind of.
Right.
But I just think it's different or something. I don't know. They've got their own kind of unique roster, I feel.
Yeah.
But NXT wrestlers come down from WWE, so lads that aren't really doing much. Well, no, but even lads like Adam Cole and stuff come down and have a match with her.
Johnny Gargano was on it.
Yeah, he was.
Dream.
That was recent. Yeah, he was on as well. But it's they also what they do is for wrestlers that aren't being used as much in NXT, they'll bring them down to Evolve to actually do something other than just like one match and leave. It's actually, like I remember like Dan Mata was on at one point.
Right.
But like I'm fascinated by shit like that. I love seeing wrestlers who aren't really doing much in NXT have somewhere else to kind of do shit. But the one tag team that I fucking love in NXT, but they're not doing that much in NXT, but they're the Evolve Tag Team Champions, is the Street Profits. I fucking love the Street Profits. I think they are deadly. They're the most charismatic fucking team. Like, they're so entertaining, and they're just so, like, they're just different, and I just really like them. And, when they won the tag titles in Evolve, so I went back and I watched, like, about 6 or 7 shows or whatever. The show where they won it is fucking great because they're all conditioned to WWE wrestlers coming down and, you know, losing and then going back up again. But this was like the first night where they kind of officially were like, right, they're part of the WWE umbrella. So Street Profits come in and they won the titles, and it was like, as soon as the ref hit the count for the 3, everyone's just like, I fucking love that. I love when the crowd's full on shocked. Like, even if it's something I hate. Like, remember when fucking Asuka tapped out Charlotte?
Yeah.
I hated that. I hated the way it was like, you know, I hate obviously what happened, but I love that kind of
Undertaker losing at WrestleMania 30 reaction.
Yeah, exactly.
Pinnacle of that. Yeah.
But they're just such an underrated team. I think they're going to be fucking massive in NXT. I think they're going to be the next big champions. I hope so.
Oh, interesting.
They make Evolve worth watching for me.
Do you know what I find interesting about that? Because further proof WWE are listening to Low Blows. Do you remember about a year ago, you had an idea for Bray Wyatt, and you're like, why don't they take their, like, the guys they're not doing anything with and just put them on the indies and put them wrestling with the cool wrestlers who are, like, coming up, and then they come back and they're all, like, they have all this indie cred and stuff like that. That's kind of what they're doing at Evolve. Like, it's and it works. Like, it's fucking cool because it keeps them in people's eye line. But all of a sudden, because they're there, they're cool. You know what I mean? Imagine Street Profits and OTT. You know what I mean? And then, like, they get over with OTT, and then anytime, like, Irish fans see them, like, they're like, oh, yeah, those are the lads. You know what I mean? Whereas...
Oh, man, if Street Profits came to OTT, that'd be the fucking best.
Who knows?
Like, that'd be so good.
Who knows?
Please.
Yeah. So, look, they fucking announced this. Okay, here. Preemptive, I'm sticking something in number 2. The Hurricane's coming to OTT.
Oh my god, you don't mention that.
Shit, when I heard that.
Holy shit, like, this is a late ad, alright? Impromptu. What the fuck?
I know. It's
that is
amazing.
amazing. That is the most like, is it weird that I'm looking forward to that as much as Walter Devlin?
Oh,
No, but you know what it is? Like, for a while, like, the WWE, like, cast-offs were seen as, like, uncool, right? So we didn't get them for ages. We've just got indie after indie after indie. So now it's, like, fresh again to get, like, someone we grew up watching on telly, you know?
And, like, of all people as well, like, it's just, like, he's going to work, because it's him and the Angel Cruisers against Justy, Team Prick, and it's...
Sammy D.
Sammy D, yeah, there you go. So it's like 3 on 4, and like him with the Angel Cruisers, you gotta know there's a triple choke slam at some stage coming there.
Oh,
at least them, like, it's gonna be fucking class, like, amazing get by OTT, and that's got me so hyped. I'm going to Scrapper next week, so I can't wait. By the way,
that's next week. Holy shit!
Next week we're gonna be doing our big Scrapper Mania preview. I'm really looking forward to that because I'm already thinking about like the fantasy booking in my head and stuff like. So looking forward to that. Stay tuned. But in at number 1, one from Raw. 2 things from Raw. One smaller mention. You know the way you have these celebrity cameos at times? They actually did a really good one with the SNL Weekend Update guys. Colin Jost and Michael Che, who I like independently, or like SNL now. Like, I'd only ever follow it through YouTube and stuff, but I barely even watch any of the skits anymore. It's gone to the dogs. They don't really have a great generation of people, and it's cheesy laugh after cheesy laugh. Some skits are funny, but Weekend Update consistently great. That's where they basically do a daily show or John Oliver style recap of the week's news and stuff like that. The lads play off each other great, but you saw them come up and they're backstage with Stephanie McMahon or whoever, and it's just like, oh no, don't ruin these lads for me, don't make them all cheesy and be like, but they were actually class because they're funny together, like where they're just walking through the backstage area and they're like, oh, I'm gonna go to the bathroom, and he's like, yeah, you want me to come with you? He's like, no, why would I want you to come with you? He's like, oh, watch your back. He's like, what are you going to do if I wrestle? It's a public company, like, they're not going to attack us. And he's like, all right, I'm just going to stay here. And then Braun Strowman comes up to him and he's like, hey dude, how are you? And then Braun's just not saying anything, and he's like, can I ask you something? Is this thing real? It's just like brilliant. Braun lifts him up, gets a huge pop in the crowd. They're going to be working at WrestleMania. They're going to do some like guest host type deal. So, you know what? I'm actually okay with this because they were genuinely funny. But the main thing I want to talk about is they finally let Ronda Rousey. United 2-1. Oh my God, United 2-1.
Yes.
Is it? No. Is it?
Don't
I
fuck
don't
with
know.
me. Don't
People
like
listening will know the result at this stage. What happened? It is 2-1. Oh my God, what a goal!
Who was it?
Lukaku's got 2.
Ooh.
Rebound off a Rashford shot and then just knocked it in. Holy shit.
I fucking told you tonight.
If we get one more goal and win by 2, we won the
away goals. Yeah, so I'm Dad, I told you. I fucking told all of you.
Alright, anyway, look. Raw this week. It was a bit like cheesy how they did it, where they're replaying the Ronda thing, and then Stephanie comes out and like basically announces the big announcement where she's like, "Oh, Becky Lynch's suspension's lifted. This is backstage. Becky Lynch's suspension's lifted. She's going to be wrestling Charlotte on Sunday for the vacant Raw Women's title." And it's just like you're dropping a lot of bombs, and like it's just like you're just undoing all your storylines via a backstage interview. So I wasn't mad on that, but obviously they were building towards something. So they had to get Becky at the end of the show to sign a hold harmless agreement. So that she couldn't sue WWE because she's still injured. She's still hobbling around. You gotta feel for her. Like, her acting is tremendous and her selling is tremendous. Like, even as she's getting into the ring, she like pauses for a few seconds. She's like, "How am I gonna do this?" Without? It's like you trying to figure out how to get into the ring with your elbows. You're like,
I figured it out last week.
Did you?
Yeah. I lay on my back and shimmied like a worm.
Are you going to be doing this on shows?
No, it was for an interview, and then the interview ended and I had to lie on my back again and shimmy. It was like limbo under the bottom rope.
That's amazing.
that was pretty much Becky this week coming out but she just she stops and looks and just it's like, "Oh yeah, you're injured." And now I'm like, just a little bit of selling is great. But so they do that whole contract thing. Then Rousey comes out. There was a thing on Twitter. What was it? It's like, store closes at 6, white woman at 5:58. And it's Ronda Rousey speeding through the car park doing her angry power walk, you know what I mean? Which is both badass, but also a mom power walking, you know what I mean? It's got qualities of both. She comes out really pissed off and then just goes full heel. Absolutely fantastic promo. Where it was both because Ronda Rousey is at her best when she's just flying off the handle. I loved her in UFC when she just get pissed off and she's just like, "I'm gonna fuck you up, and I'm gonna do this." It's like someone throwing a tantrum, but that's someone also being one of the toughest humans on the planet, and it's like you can back up everything you're saying. So I'm kind of into this tantrum because you're dangerous as fuck. But also, yeah, because she's got that little angry, 6-year-old, "You took my sweets away from me" face. You know what I mean? But, again, you just remember how legit she is. And then, just coming out and she's like, "I'm sick of this. I tried to play the games. I tried to be Mrs. Nice Guy. What is it? But I could break both your arms by just sneezing at you." I'm like, "I don't know how that worked, but I believe you. You're so fucking amped." It was great. And then, eventually they did that whole thing with Becky at the end, where she attacked her, put the armbar on her. I think that needed to be done too, because I think we were forgetting how badass Ronda is, and we're just focusing all the attention on Becky. So it was good to get that. And Becky obviously doesn't lose anything because she's injured. So it's like, right, you beat Becky up when she's injured. You're real tough. There was the bit of Twitter back and forth during the week where Becky owned Ronda. What did Ronda say? She's like, "You have your stupid submission hold, which doesn't even hurt and looks like you're holding the dick that you wish you had." And then Becky is like, "You're right, it does actually look like a dick with a picture of Travis Brown as the head." It was perfect. And then Ronda's like, "Rebecca Quinn, I'm going to beat the shit into you the next time I see you."
Wow.
The full name was what killed me.
It was like, Ronda, you don't know how cliche that is because you don't hang around wrestling Twitter, but
I fucking loved it.
Did you?
Yeah, I thought it was great. I love people dropping a real name in.
Okay, fair enough. I always get a bit I don't know, it's just because Ronda I still kind of view as newbie to wrestling, where it's just I'm doing a work shoot, guys. Is this okay? You know what I mean?
See, I don't think she is doing a work shoot. I think she just gets genuinely thick and just tweets things
Becky, damn it, you did it again. Becky's the smart kid in the class that the tough kid could never get the best of. But everyone else in the class is like, "Yay, smart kid." And the tough kid's like, "I'm going to fucking kill you." But it was great to get that moment where Ronda did get one over on Becky as well. Really got you pumped up for the main event feud. And also what I liked about it on a sneaky side is we're now on board with it being a three-way, because they're like, "All right, well, you didn't vacate the women's title then, Ronda. Fair enough. Well, Becky, if you win on Sunday, you get added to the WrestleMania main event, and it's like, yeah, finally Becky gets added, and then we're like, no, we're not getting the match we didn't want. we're not getting the match we wanted. Charlotte's still in the match, but everyone forgetting about that because of the subtle way they did it. So I think that's impressive from WWE. Anyway, that was the week that was. The week on the Low Blows VOD, by the way, Fight Factory episode 7. If you want to see Katie Harvey not be able to get into the ring,
not even try.
You can check out Fight Factory episode 7. Love Graps, actually absolutely class card. You had main event Irish Junior Heavyweight Championship on the line, Valkyrie defending against Michael May and against LJ Cleary, and you had Sean Guinness against Dimitri Krakovic. You had the Irish Tag Team titles defending not once but twice. More Than Hype started against the Mid-Card Mafia, and then it got a bit freaky in there. You probably know what happened, but if you don't, I'm not going to spoil it for you. And then you got an amazing three-way tag for the number one contendership for the tag team titles. Phil Boyd against Sammy D, and much more. It's an excellent show and well worth your time. You can get that on Low Blows VOD at lowblowsvod.pivotshare.com now, and if you sign up now, you will get a 7-day free trial where you get access to all of our content. So if you can watch all of our content within 7 days, you are welcome to it. But if you like what you see, we ask that you continue to subscribe as you go on and more content is added. You basically get the last year of Irish wrestling. Everything outside of OTT is pretty much on there, so check that out. It is well worth the value. And keep an eye on Fight Factory's social media as well, because we're going to be doing a contest over the next few days where if you sign up, you can get some pretty cool prizes.
Yeah, so we're just getting the prizes together, but so far they include things like t-shirts, DVDs, a month's free training if anyone wants to become a wrestler.
That's really good.
But yeah, it's going to be just for subscribers, people who sign up for the week, see if they like it. We'll have a content-based question. But yeah, we're probably going to put that up tonight, so keep an eye out for it.
There you go, check it out. You can also get on to Patreon as well. On the Patreon this week we do have, which all of our content is free on iTunes and Spotify, but if you want to keep the lights on here at Low Blows, please support patreon.com/#LowBlows. You can get free tickets for WrestleMania as well. And this week we had the one with the podcast. We are dropping hints about what the next show to cover will be. I'll give you another hint, guys. It's current. It's something that's relevant, that is both from the past and relevant. I don't know if I've given away too much. Don't say it on air because you might guess it. Shit, sorry lads, I probably gave it all away there. It's something that people are talking about right now, but it is from the past. So get onto that. We'll also have a special Ask the Queen edition of Ask Low Blows coming up later in the week. So get on that and support at patreon.com/#LowBlows. Like I said, if you pay €8 or more, you can get free tickets to our WrestleMania weekend. Or if you just pay whatever you can, and it will help support it. And because this free content does take work from a hard-working team, so you can support them. But guys, we are just a few weeks away from this.
For the first time ever in Ireland, Buskers on the Ball becomes the pub that never sleeps, as Low Blows presents our first ever WrestleMania weekend. The only way to experience WrestleMania if you can't be in New York. Starting on Saturday 7th of April, NXT x NJPW. We screen NXT Blacklist in full from 9 p.m. Then aired at New Japan and Ring of Honor G1 Supercard in Madison Square Garden live and in full. Sunday 8th of April, our annual WrestleMania party from 8 p.m. Pre-show entertainment including our Hall of Fame ceremony, retro gaming contests and the second annual Pool Mania. Then watch WWE WrestleMania 35 live and in full in an amazing atmosphere. No Temple Bar prices on booze and full food menu available both nights. Weekend passes or individual night passes now available on eventbrite.ie, or free including a table to €8 subscribers at patreon.com/#LowBlows. Table bookings automated via Eventbrite, so book early to guarantee a table. Celebrate Becky Lynch finishing the job she started at the Royal Rumble in style with a packed Irish crowd in Buskers on the Ball. Low Blows. For 8 years, redefining fandom.
WrestleMania weekend. Tickets are on sale now, guys. So get onto eventbrite.ie and get involved. Sort out your plans for the biggest WrestleMania, the biggest party of the year. It's going to be amazing. Becky Lynch in the main event. Plus, we have NXT versus New Japan on the Saturday night as well. So, guys, what I can reveal is the tickets are selling faster than they have been in a few years for WrestleMania parties, and we haven't even released. We have our Jade special poster coming up. If you want to get involved, you can tweet us in what you think the theme of the poster is going to be. It's guessable though, but it's going to be class. I can't wait for people to see it. So we have that coming up on Saturday or Sunday. We'll see how the weekend goes. So get involved in that, and get your tickets on eventbrite.ie. We'll be having more information as the weeks go on. NXT Blacklist feature Walter against Pete Dunne. That's going to be class. We're going to know a lot more about what the G1 Supercard is for the NJPW show in Madison Square Garden. We're going to be getting info on that in a few weeks, and then WrestleMania, we're going to know the card as we go on. So it's exciting, guys. We cannot wait. But there is just one pit stop before WrestleMania, and that is this Sunday, Fastlane. It is a sneaky decent card. Like, have you looked at this card? Like, when I was going through each match, I was like, this is decent. There's a lot of meat here, especially for a pre-WrestleMania show. Not much filler, all killer. Starts with the kickoff show. We're going to give our predictions now, and guys, you can give your predictions on the Prediction League, which is returning this Friday at facebook.com/#lowblows. You win a month subscription to Low Blows VOD, and if you're already subscribed to it as well, that's just a free month. It's a voucher code, so you'll just be able to put it in, and you won't pay for it the next time you're due to pay, so you can get involved too. Guys, we are going to give our picks here, starting with the kickoff show, and a hell of a match for the kickoff show, because these have been tearing it up on SmackDown. Andrade against Rey Mysterio. I'm guessing this is for the US title number one contendership. Samoa Joe just won it, so I'm going to go for Mysterio, but I don't feel that this is the feud ender, because these have been having near match of the year candidates. Who you got, Katie? I am
not up to date on
You're
this feud, so I am going to say Rey Mysterio because I really like him.
Dean, who you got?
Oh, shit. Rey Mysterio.
You actually haven't got flustered like once in this show, so we were due it. Like, people expect it at this stage.
Because I was like on the way in, I was like, oh, Andrade, 100%, and now I'm like, actually, you don't know, because Samoa Joe, I mean, obviously, I don't know. I just
comes down to the better man winning on the night, of course.
Exactly. I mean, it's 50-50. You never know until that final bell, you know. But for me, it's like, you know, it should be Andrade beating up an old man, but the reality is Rey Mysterio has hung in there, and he hasn't lost his speed, and whatever speed he has lost, he's adapted, and he's changed along with the game, and now he's fully caught up. So for me, it's, you know, either one could win. They know each other inside and out, so you just don't know.
The speed and the veteran instincts, you know, it's something you've got to take into account. Onto the main card, Raw Tag Team titles on the line. This should have been the pre-show match. It's the Revival defending against the interesting team of Ricochet and Aleister Black, and Bobby Roode and Chad Gable are there too. Three-way tag. The interesting one is Ricochet and Aleister Black, because it's like, on one hand, the Revival just won the belts, like, for the first time. It was a big moment a few weeks ago on Raw. Then you've got the NXT team. Obviously, Gargano and Ciampa were called up with them, but Ciampa's actually gone down now. It looks like he could be out for up to 14 months with a neck injury.
Wait, what? Whoa.
Yeah, Ciampa's gone. Ciampa's injured. He injured his neck a few weeks ago. Yeah, the NXT champion, Tommaso Ciampa.
When did that happen?
A few weeks ago. I think it was just after his Raw call-up.
I don't remember this at all, man.
Yeah, he's injured his neck. He has to go for surgery. This is just, I think it was just today. It was
14.
Yeah, I think it's like 6 to 14 months, but it's a bad injury.
Whoa.
Yeah, so they're going to have to redo the whole NXT TakeOver card and stuff. So, yeah, it's pretty shitty. So, Ricochet and Aleister Black are kind of carrying the load for the NXT kind of call-ups. And they haven't I don't think they haven't lost a match yet since they've been on Raw. So, this would be their first loss. Of course, you can have Roode and Gable in there to eat a pinfall. It's just, do you think they're going to want their Revival? They're going to continue this run that they've just started? Or do you think that they're going to put the NXT guys on WrestleMania because they want to just get them involved in some way? But it's a weird odd couple team, like, so I guess I'm going to go for Ricochet and Aleister Black. I may change it beforehand, so keep your eyes out for my picks on Twitter. Roode and Gable aren't winning this, but it's one or the other. So I'm going to go Ricochet and Aleister Black. Katie, who you got?
I'm so confused because I thought the Hardy Boys were in this match.
No, they're on SmackDown. Katie's very out of the loop with me.
Someone had a message up today being like, "Oh, I'm so happy Alistair Black gets to wrestle his idol Jeff Hardy this weekend." That's what. Like, I seen a graphic.
What?
No, hang on. Maybe.
Yeah, you might be right. Maybe I missed this because I
Hang
only
on.
did this morning.
I'll go back onto the place that I know put it up, and that's why I was like, "Oh, you know what? That's really cool."
That's weird. They're really shitting on the brand split then, because like Ricochet and Alistair Black were on Raw this week, and then they're on SmackDown as well.
This could be me being mental. Hang on.
Well, I missed the match that they were involved in, so.
Oh, Fastlane, yeah. No. What?
It's three-way tag. Yeah, because it's the Raw and they're on SmackDown.
What the fuck did I see this morning?
People are mental. It's on Twitter. They're all mental.
Did they wrestle this week?
Maybe. I missed the match because I was getting ready for work.
My pick was going to be the Hardys. In that case, I think the Revival are probably keeping it because, yeah, it's too soon to take it off them.
Yeah.
Like, I understand the idea of getting the NXT lads with the belts, but because it's a triple threat, they can also just not eat the pin and still be strong. So, yeah, I reckon the Revival are keeping it.
All right, you're convincing me a bit more, Keane.
Oh, the Revival 100%, right? And this bothers me because Bobby Roode and Chad Gable, yeah? They're former champions, and nobody can take that away from them, but they should be able to because it's bullshit, right? It's all just timing. You've seen stacked tag team divisions where, like, the fifth best team is unreal and, like, would be champions at a different time. But you look at Roode and Gable, and they wouldn't even be, like, team number 10 in that stacked tag team division, but they were champions because their opponents were fucking the B team and the Ascension and all them, yeah? Now the Revival have come in, the Revival have taken the titles, they're not losing to Roode and Gable because the Revival are up there. And as far as Black and Ricochet are concerned, it's, as you said, it's an odd couple tag team. They've made it work, fair play to them, but they're still two individuals, and I think if you want to beat the Revival, you need to be a 100% committed tag team. Like casual fans that come in shouldn't even be able to differentiate you from your partner because you're that close, you know what I mean? So I'm going to go with the Revival 100%.
Okay, it's all about that chemistry.
Exactly.
Speaking of not being able to differentiate you from your partner, the Usos defend their SmackDown tag team titles against another all-couple tag team. Miz and Shane McMahon, of course, also have been tag team champions. It's an interesting one because did they put the belts back on Miz and Shane? Like, is it just a placeholder? Like, I had the Miz wrestling Daniel Bryan at WrestleMania, though. You switched the roles where Miz is now the babyface and Bryan is the heel. That was
bollocks.
I was sure that was happening, but then what do you do with the Miz and Shane coming into WrestleMania? It feels like you have two massive assets there. The Usos you've seen with the belts before, but the Usos beat them last month, so I'm confused. I'm kind of leaning towards Miz and Shane here, but I just don't see why you took the belts off them to begin with, just to have this rematch. So I'm going to default back to the Usos, but I don't feel good about it.
Shane likes to wrestle at WrestleMania. Maybe it is a split coming, and the match at WrestleMania is Miz and Shane.
Oh, yeah, that's the obvious one.
Also, I'm not mental. The Hardys were in the ring with Alistair Black and Ricochet on SmackDown.
Okay.
So I wasn't mental. I did see a picture, and it's that. I just thought it was a match.
All right, fair enough.
But I reckon it's probably a split coming, maybe, or some kind of shenanigans, because I don't think they will put the belts back on Miz and Shane.
Yeah, that totally went over my head. Yeah, that's fair enough. Keane, look, all about the chemistry. You had this pick last month. You were all about the Usos. People doubted you.
People had the cheek. They had the cheek.
It wasn't me.
Sorry.
You went straight for Katie.
I was glaring at Katie. I was taking out all my aggression.
I was actually there and picked the Miz and Shane.
Was he screaming at my empty chair last week?
The cheek to call it an upset when the Usos beat the Miz and Shane. An upset? An upset? How is that an upset? They're like arguably the best tag team in the world against the Miz and Shane McMahon.
1.5 wrestlers.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, and they're not even a tag team that go way back and have loads of chemistry. It's two individuals. I'm not going to say that they'll, split or they'll fight each other. I don't know their personal, how they feel about each other. They might get on great, they might not. But the Usos are winning this 100%. It's not even close.
Okay, interesting. The SmackDown Women's title on the line. Asuka defends against Mandy Rose, which is sneaky interesting in terms of like trying to pick a winner, because you look at the SmackDown Women's division and without Charlotte, without Becky now, that is very bare. But then you say, do you end up killing probably the most high-profile possible challenger in Mandy Rose? Like by having Asuka win, but then you're like, if Asuka isn't the champion, then it's very, very thin. they need to shuffle that up. Like, you have Bayley and Sasha on Raw, you have Nia, you've got this. They need Alexa as well, though she's reportedly injured again too. But like, they need to send some talent back, because like putting Becky and Charlotte on Raw with Ronda and everything else going on over there is just leaving SmackDown out in the cold. So I don't know who's going to win this one. I'm going to say maybe Asuka by DQ or something like that, or maybe there's some kind of shenanigans in here that lead to a rematch, because I just don't see who else is in line. I suppose the Iconics. I think the Iconics will work. The Iconics in a triple threat at Mania or a handicap match or something like that against Asuka. So I'm going to go with Asuka, but I don't feel good about it, because it feels like they're just killing off Mandy Rose, and she could be an asset for them.
So the Raw women's division is being headlined by 2 SmackDown wrestlers.
Yeah.
Which is SmackDown with no women's wrestlers.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't think Alexa is injured. I think she's looking after her sick dog.
Okay.
Yeah, I think she'll be back next week. I follow her on Instagram.
I read something, but it could have been totally bollocks.
Like a modern day Terry Funk not showing up because his horse was sick. I don't know. I think Asuka probably will win. I just don't think they're ready to let Mandy go into Mania as champion. But unless there's shenanigans at the end of this one as well to set stuff up, I don't really know who's there.
Yeah.
It's a weird one.
Yeah, you have Naomi. You have,
oh, yeah.
Yeah, do you know the like your enthusiasm there said it everything. Where it's like, yeah, I want to get into.
Well, you know what? Fuck it. Put Torrie Wilson in the match. Have her go to WrestleMania. Have her just like take off her Hall of Fame gown into her gear and lingerie match for the SmackDown Women's title.
She's still salty.
Lingerie, obviously not bra and panties. So big difference.
Clear distinction.
Keane, who you got in this?
Asuka. It's not even close. I don't even know why there's a debate here. It's like 100 billion trillion % Asuka. Like. Okay, I know Mandy Rose got the win a while ago against Asuka, but Asuka's learned from that, and like she's ready for Sonya, she's ready for shenanigans. It's like Asuka has this 100%. I think you could put anyone in the SmackDown Women's division up against Asuka right now, and obviously I can't think of everyone off the top of my head, but just at first sort of glance, I would say that she'd wipe out all of them, really.
Yeah.
And it's not even close, so I'm going to go Asuka 100%.
Okay, yeah, I'd build around a dominant Asuka until you can shake it up, and then maybe put Nia in there. And that'd be like, oh shit, like, you know, Nia against Asuka, that's a fucking competition. So, and Nia's had a big year as well, so maybe deserves it. Speaking of Nia, she is involved in a title match herself. She's fighting with Tamina for the women's tag team titles against Sasha and Bayley. Again, one of these things where it's like, Nia's done a lot of good work over the past year. When you think of last year, she was against Alexa. You know, I know the matches weren't that great, but at the same time, like, she did get really over as a babyface. Then she wrestled Ronda. Then she had the whole thing with Becky. Then the women's tag team, she's been pivotal in that. She's picked up a lot of good mic work. We give Nia a bit of a hard time here on Low Blows, but also to give her credit, she's done a lot of good work. She's come along a lot in the past year, and I think she's raised her stock highly in WWE's eyes. So I don't know, WWE would like to have her on WrestleMania in some way. I just don't know if they're going to take the belts off Sasha and Bayley yet. That'd be such an anticlimax, because they're, like you said, they're on NXT. They're still kind of doing the tour where they're establishing the women's tag team title. So I'm going to guess Tamina is the weak link here. The one thing kind of swaying me a little bit is that they had Tamina beat Sasha this week on Raw. So it's like, you know, if you lose the Raw beforehand, you're probably winning at the pay-per-view. I'm going to go with it, but again, it's something I don't feel great about. I could easily see Nia and Tamina winning here and them getting a WrestleMania match. It could be a rematch or something like that. I don't know. But I'm defaulting a lot to the champions here as well, so that's going to make me think. No, I'm going Sasha and Bayley.
Yeah, me too. Like, they're challenging people on NXT and NXT UK. So, like, they're definitely setting up matches all over the gaff. So, yeah. I mean, Nia and Tamina. I mean, the thing about Nia, at least she's the third best wrestler in that match. Like, and that's probably the nicest thing I could say about that team.
I'm just going to come over here and snap your elbows off. I just hope you know that. If she hears that, like...
I really like Salty Katie this week. It's great.
The Torrie Wilson salt is rubbing off everywhere. Brilliant. Fuck it, just put her in the Hall of Fame as well. See if I care.
She's not letting it go.
What we need here is we need Lay Cool to make a comeback. Which reminds me, Layla has been advertised for a show for the first time in like 10 years.
Whoa.
What show?
Some show in America. She was on a poster.
Oh, an indie show?
Yeah.
Oh, I mean WWE.
Oh, no, an indie show. Do you imagine Lay Cool coming back and challenging Sasha and Bayley?
That'd be pretty cool.
That would be fucking deadly.
Yeah,
like.
that's like near dream match.
Yeah,
like,
that would be deadly.
That's like if they're doing Evolution 2 or another women's pay-per-view. Like,
yeah,
that'd be a good match.
That's the throwback match.
Yeah, very good. Who you got with Sasha and Bailey against Nia and Tamina?
Again, it's not even close. It's all about that chemistry. Nia and Tamina don't have it. They look like they have it because they look somewhat similar. They don't have it. They don't, like, Nia doesn't care. Nia just wants to go out and fucking beat the shit out, like, I don't know, Randy Orton or one of them. Do you know what I mean? I've said that before. I said that at the Chamber. And I called the Chamber almost 100%. No, no, I'm getting mixed up. I didn't. But, like, still, I was thinking of the men's Chamber. Anyway, my point is, though, it's all about chemistry, and Sasha and Bailey have it way more than Nia and Tamina, and I'm going to go with Sasha and Bailey. Again, not even close.
Okay, interesting match added this week on Raw. You talk about chemistry, it's a bit of like old school historical chemistry versus new current chemistry. Like, do you consider momentum a part of chemistry? Do you consider someone teaming every week currently, or do you consider a long friendship as chemistry? We'll get to that in a second, because it's the Shield, the reunited Shield, possibly for the last time if Ambrose is in fact leaving. There's rumours that saying he might be sticking around though now, but the Shield reunited. They're going to take on the stag party of Drew McIntyre, Bobby Lashley and Baron Corbin. I'm just going with the stag party name. That's what they are. They're a bunch of lads who made friends in the stag party and just decided we're going to keep being friends and no one's going to stop this, even though we're not like each other at all. So that's the stag party. I've got the Shield all day in this. There's no way they're losing. The one way they're losing is if Brock Lesnar makes a surprise appearance and just tears them all apart, and that sets up. It's the one thing that I have in my head. I don't think so. I think this is going to be because Ambrose might be leaving and they're talking about it as in this is the last Shield match. Let them go out with their head held high. They're not beating a team who's going to beat the next Shield, so they don't need to put them over. They can easily win here. Rollins needs the momentum going into Mania. Reigns' first match back. He's probably not losing again unless they're doing a big angle with Brock Lesnar. But if they take apart the Shield, if Lesnar takes apart the Shield, then Lesnar and Reigns have beef, so that confuses and muddies the water. So I'm picking the Shield here all day.
Oh, the Shield are definitely winning, but I was letting my head run away with me there. I don't think Dean Ambrose is leaving, right?
Okay.
Because with AEW and shit like that, they're not going to publicly advertise a good name leaving the company. I think that's all a swerve. That's probably like, oh, Dean Ambrose is dead, but Jon Moxley's alive, and he comes back out and like, is Jon Moxley kicking a shite at everyone?
You just made Corporate Nicola cry.
Yeah, as soon as you said that, I was like, oh no.
Well, is it good or bad? Is that what she wants or not want?
Oh, she wants that like a lot, like a lot.
Or like, you know what the best thing would be in this situation?
What's that?
For Roman Reigns to turn heel.
Oh.
Because, like, remember when, okay, I know it's a different situation why he was away, but remember when Jericho came back from years away and he came back and everyone cheered and clapped him and then he turned heel and it was the best. He went on the best run of his life. Like, yeah, imagine that, like.
Oh.
Because he'll have so much goodwill coming back. Imagine turning on the fans and just being like, you know what, before this happened to me, fuck you guys.
No.
They wouldn't. They've literally just got, it'd be such a ballsy call and I love it, but they've just got him to where they wanted to be for years.
Yeah, so turn him. That's what I do. I turn him.
This is like your turn, John Cena heel for me. You're going to be calling that every month from now on, like, because you got this in your head. But do you think it's going to happen, or are you just saying it'll be interesting?
I know, they're going to have like a typical Shield match and the feel-good moment, brotherly hug at the end.
Yeah, and keep in mind how good Shield matches traditionally are. We forget this. Like, this could be like an absolute match of the year for all we know with the names involved. Keane, who you got here? Historical or current momentum chemistry? What matters more?
They don't have momentum. Like, when you say new momentum and all that, you're talking about the Corbin?
Yeah, the stag party.
They don't have momentum. They don't have. No, it's the Shield all day. But
they've been teaming since Survivor Series.
I don't remember anything they've done since then. There's nothing.
That feels more like an accusation, like a problem with your memory than them.
Well, no, because if they were,
don't watch Raw, like.
But if they were any good, and they were destroying people left, right, and centre and proving points and making statements, I would 100% be like, oh shit. But no, it's all like. Drew's better on his own, Lashley's better with Leo, and Corbin shit. So, like, for me, it's the Shield all day. I think Brock Lesnar, I doubt he's arse showing up and beating the shit out of the Shield, but that would be mad, though. I think if Brock Lesnar came back and beat the shit out of, like, all the Shield after that, and, like, you know, imagine him beating the shit out of Roman Reigns and all that after, like, all what's happened, I think that'd be mad, but I don't know. Either way, I think the Shield are winning, definitely.
Okay, interesting. This one is very difficult to predict. WWE Championship on the line, Daniel Bryan against Kevin Owens. The one question that has me here is how do you go about this? Kevin Owens coming back, his first big match after his return. You don't just have him lose to Daniel Bryan. You don't have him just go out there and just do the job. The thing that has me interested is the whole story of this is that Kevin Owens got the spot instead of Kofi Kingston. On SmackDown, they also went and did a segment where the New Day are out just hanging out with the crowd, and they're like, we're going to be at Fastlane this Sunday. It'd be really cool if the New Day ended up just destroying this match and making it into a no contest and just being like, this match shouldn't have happened. But how would that get over? I think the crowd would cheer, and I think they'd like it, but are you making the New Day's heels when Kofi's big run is based off Kofi Bryan Mania? I could see that happening. So ultimately, I see Bryan walking away with the belt somehow. I just don't know how that's happening, and you protect Kevin Owens by not having him lose his first big match coming back. So New Day, I'm going to go for that. Well, do we go no contest? Do we go them attacking Bryan? Do I go them attacking KO? I don't know. I think they're getting involved in this match, though. And Bryan walks away with the belt. I have to still think that through more. Here you go.
What's the deal with Sami Zayn? Is he still out?
That's another one. He was advertised a few months as coming back soon. That's a good one.
Okay, I'm going to go wild here. So my Roman thing doesn't work out. This is what I want to happen as my big swerve. I want Sami Zayn to come back and him and Kevin Owens to start kicking the shit out of Daniel Bryan.
Right.
Kofi makes a save and leaves the standoff between Daniel Bryan and Kofi, and then build match from there.
Right.
That's what I want.
Sami Zayn is he mad for the environment? I know he's very social justice warrior, but Syria tends to be his cause. I could believe he'd hang out with Daniel Bryan and Eric Rowan if they wanted to tell me.
Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting.
But I could see Kofi Kingston saving Daniel Bryan to do the whole good guy thing, it wasn't a fair fight, I'll give you a fair fight. Yeah. Something like that,
Okay, yeah. Okay, I like it.
Yous are all doing what we do in the queue at OTT, where you think of the main event and you just overthink the fuck out of it.
Yeah.
And you're like, Jordan Devlin, but there's going to be interference, and they're going to interfere, and Walter, he's going to side with Walter. Devlin's going to turn a heel on himself, and then he's going to interfere, and it's going to be so mad. Right. Daniel Bryan's going to beat Kevin Owens. That's it. I don't understand what else.
Because this is the pay-per-view for Mania, so I feel one of the matches has to have the big fuck off ending.
There has to be something that sets up WrestleMania. And why did the New Day come out and say that we're going to be at Fastlane? Why did they?
Because they're going to beat it in Burke there. They're always going to beat it.
I know, but so are the Ascension. They didn't do that with the Ascension.
Because nobody cares. They'll put it out. They got no likes. They'll get embarrassed. So just don't bother. The point is, no, I'm 100% sure that
the New Day have made a big deal about how they're going to be there. The only person they could possibly be involved with is Daniel Bryan.
They might confront him after the match. That's as far as I'm willing to go.
That's what they do in New Japan. That's not what they do in WWE. In WWE, they do schmozzes and disqualifications and 50-50 booking, and that's WWE.
I just don't see it. It's just Daniel Bryan winning and Eric Rowan then cashing in and turning heel on everyone.
And we're ridiculous.
It's all about Rowan. All right, fair enough. Right, main event. I think this is a bit more predictable. If Becky wins, she's in a triple threat match for WrestleMania against Charlotte. I suppose they could do they could have Charlotte win somehow. It certainly looks if you're looking at this on paper, if you're going into keen favorites, how's Becky gonna walk? Well, Becky's winning this. They could put it off and have her continue this storyline where she has to try and find a way if they wanted to do a twist for the sake of doing a twist. I just no, give us the match we want to happen. Give us the match we want to have now. We know it's happening. There's no need to put it off any longer. Don't overthink this. Becky's winning all day.
But what if she doesn't win? What if they do the whole Daniel Bryan at WrestleMania where he has to win the match on the night to get in?
Maybe.
The injury. I don't know. Charlotte, Becky probably is winning. Yeah, I just want at least one screwy finish from one of my matches. That's all I want.
Torrie Wilson runs out, costs Becky.
Oh my god!
So it's personal. It's
that would be gas.
This is because your mate Katie. I saw you in Fight Factory. This is because she said that shit about me. It all ties together.
Imagine Torrie versus Becky on WrestleMania. I would fucking die.
Corporate King, who you got?
I'm just gonna contradict the fuck out of what I just said 30 seconds ago. I think Charlotte could win. I actually do think Charlotte could win, and it could, like, you know, you could extend that fight then for, like, whatever. You just don't know. Again, obviously Charlotte is fully fit, and Becky's still, you know, got those injuries. So, I don't know. I'm going to go with Becky, but I wouldn't be surprised if Charlotte won.
Yeah.
I would be a little bit, actually. But still, you never know.
All right, interesting. Yeah, look, we have see what I mean? It is an interesting card. There's a lot of scenarios they could play out. We're WrestleMania up. They've done well, and I'm looking forward to this weekend. Anyway, guys, that is this weekend. So get in with your predictions on our Facebook. We'll be back next week reviewing Fastlane and with a show I've been looking forward to for a while, the big OTT Scrapper Mania preview. So stay tuned for that. We are going to record Ask the Queen with the returning Katie Harvey and answering all your questions. So until next week, Katie, what will you be up to for the weekend? Since we can't do the bookings and plugs and stuff.
Not a whole lot. I could plug other Irish wrestlers.
You could. There you go, yeah.
Yeah. Just seen Scotty Davis' Progress debut.
Right.
Got announced today.
Wait, what?
That's pretty cool.
Wait, what?
Scotty Davis' Progress debut.
No way! I didn't see that. That's fucking deadly.
Yeah.
That's the only big debut that I've realised for this
NLW
weekend.
are back this weekend.
NLW are back on Sunday. They actually have a whopper looking card.
Yeah.
And a mini rumble with 11 people. That's going to be really exciting.
Justy in main event.
Justy's in the main event, yeah.
This is something like once in a lifetime.
They've announced some good matches for the Comic-Con up north in May. That's really cool.
There you go.
Yeah, it seems to be loads of Irish people buzzing around the place.
Yeah,
so.
it's a really exciting time, pre-Scrapper week. Corporate Keane, have we got any videos coming up on YouTube?
I have no idea what the fuck I'm doing. I've got a lot of like college shit and stuff, so
right.
I don't know. So I'll try to get something out for Tuesday, but I can't guarantee it. So
just ask your mum to do a video.
Yeah, literally, it's like just have her talk and like just talk. You don't even need to edit it. Just put her like picture on it, and then there you go, job done. I would watch the shit out of that. Just have her tell us about her life. We want more. We want more Mammy Keane, or is it Mammy Corporate? I don't know. Corporate Mammy.
Sure.
There you go. We want more Corporate Mammy. Anyway, guys, subscribe to Corporate Keane on YouTube. And yeah, we'll be back next week. But until then, for Rick Nash, for Katie Harvey, for Corporate Keane, that's the bottom line. As Lobo said so.